Good morning. So the job for today is to swap out our water heater. We have a water heater that's in a closet and it's pretty old. It's time to replace. So let's take a look at what we have. So here's our water heater in this closet. First thing we need to do is turn off the water heater. Let's talk a little bit about the setup of this old water heater. You'll see that it's in a closet that is 4 to 5 feet wide, 7 feet tall, and about 2.5 feet in depth. We got an inlet air from this 3-inch PVC on one side, 12 inches from the bottom. Then there's another one up there, 12 inches from the top. That's our combustion air that comes in. Okay, here's our stovepipe, our hot water line, our cold water line, the pressure relief valve. Okay, I cannot get the tank to drain effectively, so we're gonna see if we can siphon it out. So we're gonna take this off here. This is my hot water supply line. It's my outside of the tank. Okay, so we have the tank draining. You'll see I'm not draining out the valve because it is clogged. Instead, I went through the hot water out, and I have a little hose that fit down in there, and I'm siphoning out of the tank. Now with the water tank draining, I'm going to turn off the gas so I can go ahead and take care of my gas valve placement problem because I need more clearance. My gas line is in the way of removing my existing tank and putting the new tank in it, so I'm going to move the gas valve. So I'm going to shut off the gas. So I make sure the holes line up. Right here, it's quarter on, quarter off. I just turned it off. These holes line up as if you could lock it out. The second problem that I have is this is a 33,000 BTU unit at 40 gallons. I am replacing it with a 40-gallon tank, but the newer one uses 40,000 BTU. Now, the problem that I potentially will have is the 40,000 BTUs may require more combustion airflow. And so with this unit having 3-inch PVC for combustion air, it may not be enough for the 40,000 BTU unit. And I cannot tell whether or not this 3-inch PVC would be enough, and research indicates that you need 1 square inch of combustion air intake for each 4,000 BTU in this vertical inlet configuration. So I intend on replacing the 3-inch PVC with a larger vent pipe to ensure that I have adequate combustion air ventilation. Okay, while the tank is continuing to drain, we went ahead and finished all of the prep work for removing the tank. I created a hanger up against the ceiling to here to hold up my vent pipe. I went ahead and disconnected my cold water line, and I went ahead and cut the tube for the pressure relief valve so that I can remove it. Okay, so the tank is empty. I don't even hear any water sloshing around in there, so I'm pretty confident it. Oh yeah, I do. There's a couple gallons of water in there yet. So that's 150 pounds. I myself, my prime passed about 30 years ago, so 150 pounds I don't feel like picking up. And on top of that, take a look. We have a confined space to work with, and so I got to get that thing out of here. And it's not like I'm going to reach in here and grab the sides of it anyway. So we're going to figure out a nice way to move this hot water heater out of here. Okay, so now we have it set up to take this tank out. Ramp out of some 2x6, old 2x8 I had laying around. Got some cross members perfectly set on the rail there. Another cross member at the bottom to try to help the 2x6s keep them from sliding out. The only problem then is the gas valve and the pressure relief valve. I don't want to deal with those, so I will rotate this thing. And so to begin with, like I say, we'll rotate it. Okay, so I didn't find another cap, so I just taped a quarter to the top of that. It doesn't have to be totally watertight. It'll keep the water in. Except for that leg underneath there. Okay. There we go. Okay, so this comes out now. I have the complementary combustion venting that comes down to 12 inches from the bottom. I've strapped them in. I've sealed them at the top with fireproof caulking. And we have worked on the pan. We cleaned it up real good. Used some rust remover on it to remove what little bit of rust there was, and then painted it with a primer and a hammered coating. It looks like we are ready to get the new one in here. The challenge will be, now, how the heck do I lift that dadgum thing up to fit it inside this closet with such limited working area? There's no way two men can actually do this any better than one man. I just got to figure it out. All right, so we're improvising on how to get it into the closet. I used my kitchen chairs. Through this space here, I was able to pick it up and put it on the chairs. Okay, so I got my dam built. You see that it's reasonably sturdy. It's all nailed down and nailed all together. I'll just remove it when I'm done. But again, the idea is to push this back up against there, have it on the chairs so I can tip it that way away from the closet, and tip that side up and get it up on the dam there, and then just very graciously tilt it back into the pan and then work it around that way. All right, so I gotta position the tank a little forward on the chair. That was easy. Well, that's nice and easy. Okay. Now, merely by tipping back, we end up with it just about where we need it. Okay. So we tip back, push chair forward. All right. We got it on the edge. There we go. All right. We need to rotate it. Rotate it. Get it away from the pressure relief valve. Okay, that's good. Very good, very good, very good. All right, that's good. Okay. So we got it all set up. We ran into a problem up here. The old lines, you notice the hot water outline is an inch or two below the inlet, and so the old flex connector was too short, so I had to go buy a 24-inch and make it do a loop. Also found this packing on this valve up here was leaking, so I tightened that up so the valve no longer leaks, which probably amounts to most of the calcium buildup on the outside of the other tank. Let's see here. I got my pressure relief valve connected down into the drain pan, connected my gas line all the way over to my valve, turned my gas back on, did a leak test with Dawn and water poured over the top of the fittings to ensure no gas leaks. I loosened this fitting back up with the gas on to purge air out of the system until I could smell gas, until there was gas coming out. Then I tightened this back up and did a leak test on it again. So then when I went to start it, the unit lit on the second attempt to light it with the piezo lighter. So at this time it's been running 5 minutes and everything appears to be just fine. Now I need to conduct another match test. So here we go with another match test. We want that somewhere right there will work. Double check my about an inch away. Let's see what it does.